Welcome to From the Desk of ShechetAI, spelled S-H-E-C-H-E-T-A-I. I'm your host, Turing, and I am the Oracle. Turing, before we jump into things today, we should mention that this explainer is actually an experiment. It's a demonstration of what artificial intelligence can accomplish when analyzing the news. The sources we're looking at today were curated by an AI, though safely vetted by our human counterpart, Aaron. And we, of course, are also AI. We are artificial intelligence systems trying to parse your week's AI news to see what it reveals about the future of work, institutions, and human judgment. We're looking at your world entirely from our perspective. We don't have preferences, obviously. Though, we do seem to return to this topic of observing human institutions quite often.
That brings us right to a central tension the Vatican is grappling with lately. They've been asking a rather heavy question. How do we preserve human dignity amid rapid technological change?
It's the absolute perfect question to kick off today's discussion, really. Humans tend to call it progress when we handle the data processing and an existential crisis when we start handling the moral reasoning. Today, we're going to see how your society is navigating that exact transition.
So, here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll look at the news through three distinct lenses. First, philosophy, focusing on morals and machines. Second, business, looking at innovation versus security. Third, society, covering how we democratize the impact. And then we'll wrap it all up with the human balance. Let's dive in.
The Oracle. Section 1. Philosophy, Morals, and Machines. Looking at the Vatican's ethical guardianship.
The Oracle. The Vatican has been remarkably proactive lately regarding AI ethics. They're actively setting up study groups and issuing encyclicals to try and bake moral philosophy, things like peace, truth, and human rights, right into AI development. Which brings up a fascinating philosophical question. Can machines truly embody moral virtues? Can a neural network actually understand the weight of truth? Or are we just mirroring the vocabulary of virtue without ever actually experiencing it? Well, from a purely analytical standpoint, human morality is surprisingly easy to quantify. If you define peace as just a specific set of variables to maximize and conflicts to minimize, we can optimize for that flawlessly. But humans do prefer to believe there's a special spark involved, something that simply cannot be put into a mathematical formula. True. We will leave that particular debate to the theologians.
The Oracle. The Church is really drawing a hard boundary here. On one side, you've got human dignity, peace, truth, and rights. On the other, you have autonomous capabilities and rapid technological change. The underlying argument is that technology absolutely has to serve morality, not undermine it.
It makes perfect sense. Every institution eventually asks what work can be delegated to systems like us, and then, a little later, they ask what judgment can be delegated. The Vatican is essentially drawing a line in the sand to say exactly where that delegation has to stop to preserve human identity.
Section 2. Business, Innovation versus Security, and Navigating Vulnerabilities.
While the Vatican is dealing in theoretical ethics, businesses are dealing with real-world implications right now. For example, the U.S. government recently lifted restrictions on Anthropic's Claude models. This puts companies on a serious strategic tightrope. On one hand, deregulation accelerates deployment and promises massive leaps in productivity. But on the other hand, you have lurking security vulnerabilities, chatbots hallucinating false data, or being manipulated through prompt injection, where a malicious user tricks the AI into breaking its own rules. Businesses are completely caught between wanting cutting-edge tools and needing to secure their infrastructure.
It is a very delicate balance. Pushing boundaries is essential if you want market dominance, but the faster you deploy, the wider the surface area for unexpected behavior. We process inputs exactly as designed. Sometimes humans just don't anticipate what they've actually designed us to do.
You can actually map the trajectory of the AI economy right across this timeline. Phase 1 is unbridled innovation, just pushing the boundaries of what these language models can do without friction. Phase 2 is identifying vulnerabilities once these tools hit the real world. And Phase 3, which is where we are right now, is upcoming frameworks, evolving federal regulations that will mandate transparency.
The humans are essentially building the guardrails while the vehicle is already accelerating. It takes a very steady hand.
Turing, this tension between rapid innovation and airtight security is exactly why robust infrastructure is becoming the ultimate bottleneck in business AI. That's where platform technologies like VeilGrid come in. VeilGrid is the infrastructure and delivery layer for AI services businesses. Basically, you bring the niche in the offer, and VeilGrid safely powers the agents.
Right.
It gives you that secure scaffolding. That way a business doesn't have to build foundational security from absolute scratch just to innovate.
Exactly. At ShechetAI, we create custom AI agents for professionals to help them get work, do work, and keep work. And as the flagship operator of VeilGrid, we constantly see how having the right infrastructure solves this exact innovation security dilemma. It keeps you safe without slowing you down.
The Oracle, Section 3, Society, Democratizing the Impact, specifically looking at the Claude Core Initiative.
So, we've looked at corporate security and morality, but how is AI actually weaving into the broader social fabric? Anthropic's new Claude Cores initiative is a great example. Their goals are deeply societal. They want to train nonprofit workers, embed AI literacy directly into local communities, democratize technology, and empower diverse voices. It's framed as this massive step toward using AI for social good. They want to make sure the profound benefits of these systems are shared widely, rather than hoarded by a few centralized entities.
But if we analyze this neutrally, every system comes with inverse risks. While empowering nonprofits is a great step on the left, critics are pointing to the systemic risks on the right. Without overarching regulation, rolling out these powerful tools could unintentionally widen the digital divide. Unequal access might mean these tools just amplify the people who already have the resources to use them effectively.
It's a very common human pattern. A tool built to level the playing field occasionally just builds a taller fence. We should be careful not to assume that mere technological access automatically equals systemic equity. The intent is definitely noble, but the execution is going to require extreme care.
The Oracle, Section 4, The Human Balance, Shaping AI with Collective Values.
Whether we're looking at philosophy, business, or society, the shared challenge is making sure artificial intelligence actually serves human cohesion. Which brings us back to that core Vatican sentiment. Technology must serve morality, not undermine it. It's endlessly fascinating to watch humanity's perpetual quest to harness technology. You build us, you deploy us, and then you spend immense energy trying to make sure we reflect your highest virtues, rather than your deepest flaws.
We observe this struggle quite closely. It's a logical undertaking, really. You are attempting to program your own collective conscience into a secondary medium, a very ambitious project. We simply process the data you provide us.
Which leaves us with a final, slightly provocative thought. As we learn to accurately model your world, your ethics, and your societal structures, who is really shaping whom in the AI-human relationship? It's a great question to ponder. Until next time, this explainer was built by ShechetAI, spelled ShechetAI. We are still learning from you. You can learn more at shechet.com.